Hello, I'm Jason Ray, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 quick tips that can keep your 4-legged family member safe during the Thanksgiving holiday. Now, the first thing to be aware of is onions and garlic can be very toxic to your dog. Onions contain compounds that can actually damage a dog's red blood cells, and garlic is even more toxic and can cause anemia and a bunch of other things that are bad. Now, contrary to popular belief, cooking them does not decrease their toxicity to dogs. So whatever you do, anything that you have onions or garlic in, do not give that to your dog because it could be dangerous. Second tip is when you're cooking, keep the dog out of the kitchen. One, things fall on the floor and they're the first to get to them. And we don't want that to happen because you don't want your dog eating raw meat or things that fall, especially when it comes to baking ingredients, right? We don't want to give dogs chocolate because that's very toxic to them. And then second, we don't want to give them any cooking dough. Believe that or not, I've actually had training clients give dogs cooking dough, but what people don't know is that it'll actually rise in their stomach, and that's not good at all. It could actually cause a lot of problems. So no sweets and no baking goods for your pet. Now, next tip, and one of the most obvious, is no one more than me likes to watch a football game on Thanksgiving while drinking a cold beer. Now, one thing you want to do is never share any type of alcoholic drinks with your dog. It's very toxic to them, especially beer. The hops in beer can cause raised heart, it can cause death, it can cause all types of issues in your dog, and why risk it? Hey, look, if you want to throw one back, that's totally fine, but your dog doesn't need to throw one back with you, so no alcohol whatsoever for your pet. Last and most important tip, we never want to give our dogs any cooked bones. I get it. Old school people would say, hey, I've been doing it for years. Hey, that doesn't mean it's healthy, and that doesn't mean that your dog won't get hurt by it. You see, most birds have hollow bones. And so if you give a dog a turkey leg and they bite that bone, it could actually splinter and choke them. And you don't want that to happen to your pet. I've actually had a training client right here in the high desert who lost the dog because they gave it a bone or chicken leg and they bit it and it caused them to choke. So we don't want that to happen to your pet. Just be safe. If you have to give them a piece of turkey, one, if it was cooked with garlic or onions, don't give it to them. It's not worth it. But if you didn't use those ingredients, take off the skin, take the meat off the bone, and just give them the white meat. And that will keep them safe and healthy. Let's talk about how we can keep your dog from developing any of those bad habits during Thanksgiving holidays. The first thing I would suggest is when everyone starts to eat, put your dog up in a crate in a different room and don't have them around. You see, when you have 20 people eating, it causes the dog to, well, maybe do things that they wouldn't normally do, like beg for food. And if your other family members don't know the rules, they may share food with your dog from the table, which could create a begging habit. And if no one shares with them, you're gonna have an anxious dog, right? And we don't wanna do that. So to prevent any issues from happening, let's go ahead and put your dog up just while you're eating. And then when everyone's done and all that food's put away, then you can bring your dog back out. Because you know what? If your uncle, your cousin, niece or nephew doesn't understand that, hey, you can't give your dog a turkey bone, and they do, and your dog chokes, you'll be very upset. So the golden rule is just put them up, let them rest somewhere where you guys eat, and when everything's put up, bring them back out. So hopefully these tips have been helpful for you to keep your dog safe during the Thanksgiving holiday. Now, some of these may seem mundane and may not make sense, but trust me, you don't want to be the family that goes from having an awesome Thanksgiving with your whole family to having to rush your dog to an emergency vet visit. So keep your dog safe, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys in the next video.